Hey everybody, I hope you are having a great day today. I do have some good news. We are only 73 subscribers away from the 10K. You guys are so awesome. Cannot thank you enough. So let's keep subbing so she gets her scratchies. Anyway, I've got a great sovereign video for you today. We have a man who is dumb, and he does a very big dumb, and then he goes to court and does an even bigger dumb there. So you will enjoy. Here you go.
Well, sir, I just spoke with the manager there.
Right.
And she's a little upset because they have some rules around this place.
Yeah, it's their policy. Could I have your name and badge number?
Sure, I can give you my card when we're done here.
That's even better.
Yeah, I'll have you. You're right.
But anyhow, it's Officer
Overall.
And Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yes.
Okay, great.
Now,
Have a seat. Go ahead.
hold on. They've asked you to leave.
They demanded I leave.
Right. Are you going to leave?
No.
You understand that's a crime in the state of Florida. You can be arrested for that.
No. They have to, first of all, issue a no trespassing order on me.
That's the warning right there.
That is the warning.
That's
yeah,
the
they
warning.
have to do that first.
They've just...
Us being here and telling you to leave, that's your warning. If you don't leave, then you can...
Well, that's not what the statute says. Statute says they have to issue a warning.
What's your first name?
I'd rather not give my name.
I'm just... What do you want me to call you?
Call
Be
me,
polite to you.
call me Honey.
Okay. Sir, I don't
Honey.
want there to be an issue, okay?
Yeah, neither do I.
I'm trying to avoid that.
You're doing
Well,
everything right.
Let me tell you this. They have every right to tell you to leave.
Only if I do something wrong.
Negative. They have every right to tell you to leave.
What statute you going by?
I'm not
private property, sir.
Oh, well, okay.
So for example, if you don't want somebody at your house,
Yeah,
that's your property, right?
That's exactly
And
right.
you can tell them to leave for whatever reason, right?
That's exactly
they
right.
have the same right to do that. Okay?
Yeah, well, they do and they don't, because when they open that, now let me finish. You're being a gentleman,
Yeah.
okay? Now, when you open that front door, it becomes a public accommodation
Correct. I'm glad you brought that up.
as per section 760.808 of the Florida Constitution, and also Title 18, section 242 of Civil Rights, federal.
You're correct. But if you read that thoroughly, there's two different parts of that. There's something that's called public forum, okay, and one that's public property. So for you to be out there, considered private property, but this is open to the public, okay, which is a public forum.
Public accommodation.
That is correct, but it's still private property. Okay,
yes, it
open
is.
to the public, but it's private property. So,
I'm agreeing with you.
So they do have the right to tell you to leave. Yes.
Well, they always have. Well, they really don't. No, because once they open the front door, we're going around in a circle.
How dumb do you have to be to go to a private store or restaurant or whatever and think because they let you in, they can't ask you to leave? It's beyond stupid. Obviously, if they're a store that's a private business, they need customers to come in. That doesn't make it public then. It's not a public forum.
Okay, but could you just show me that part you were talking about?
No, hold on.
No? Okay.
I've been polite.
Yes, you
and now
have.
I've been as polite as I can.
Yes,
okay?
you have. Yes, you have.
As far as I'm concerned,
Is your body camera working?
it is going. Yep.
Thank you.
I can get you everything, all the documentation, whatever you want.
You're
okay?
more than a gentleman.
Okay. I'm trying to avoid taking you to jail. And I'm done giving you the opportunity. I'm telling you what's happening now.
So
Hold on. I'll tell you when it's time to talk.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
She has asked you to leave and you have refused. That's what she's telling me. Which right now, hold on.
She demanded.
Hold on.
Demand.
Perfect. Even
different
better.
term.
Even better. Demanded you to leave and you refused. That's called a crime. Hold on.
I'm not
Hold on.
interrupting. Okay.
I can see you're about to. Hold on. I need your driver's license right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna get you a trespass warning. I'll get it all on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But if you don't leave right after that, you're going to jail. You understand?
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
You have your ID on you?
No, I never carry ID.
Okay. I need your name and date of birth then.
I don't have to give you my name or date of birth.
Wrong.
Now, hold on. I have every legal right to demand it, and if you refuse, you're going to jail.
Okay.
How do you want that to go?
Okay, well, let me ask a question, may I?
Absolutely. Ask me a
Okay,
question.
yes, I don't have to give you my identification unless I've committed a crime, going to commit a crime, or I'm subject in a crime.
Dude, he just told you you have committed a crime. You aren't leaving. So yeah, you gotta give him your information.
What you're currently doing right now by not leaving.
But you see, I haven't committed a crime.
Sir,
We're about to commit a crime.
Sir, I'm trying to avoid taking you to jail.
I heard that. Okay.
My patience is running thin. If you're not going to give me your name and date of birth, you're going to go to jail. Is that worth it to you?
I thought you were going to trespass me first.
I have the legal right to demand your identification, your name and date of birth. If you don't give me that, you're going to jail.
Okay.
I'm trying to help you out.
Okay, listen, I'm going to go ahead and leave, okay?
Well, we're not done here.
Oh, okay.
I have every legal right to demand you identify yourself.
Yeah?
If you refuse, that's also a crime. I have now notified you of this, and you are required to do it.
Uh-huh.
Is this the hill you want to die on, man? You know?
Yeah, okay, but I have to ask a question. I've read that statute pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
And it says I don't have to give you idea unless I've done a crime, committed a crime, going to commit a crime, which I haven't. I haven't committed a crime
You
yet.
have, though. And we're actually being extremely lenient.
Well, yeah, but let me...
We're being extremely lenient with you because the person already asked you to leave, right? That was your warning.
She demanded I leave.
Correct, which that was your warning, right? Now we came and we're asking you to leave,
dude,
and you still.
I'm trying to help you.
I know you are.
I'm trying to help you.
Technically, right now we have probable cause to arrest you, but we're not doing that. Okay, so please just.
Okay, they have refunded you for your money. They didn't have to do that. They're being nice to you.
Yeah, okay. But let me just I'm going to leave, all right? So you don't have to go through all this crap. But let me define this as much as I can before I leave, all right?
No, it's not all right. You have to leave. You're being told, actually demanded, to leave that premise. You don't get to sit around and just chit-chatting, define words and stuff. Get out.
We're not going until you identify yourself.
Okay. So what you're telling me, as I understand, is where was I? I haven't committed a crime. I'm not about to commit a crime.
Wrong again.
And also, I'm not suspect in a crime.
Well, I just explained to you that you actually have. It's trespass after warning.
Yeah, I know, but she hasn't trespassed me yet.
That's not how it works, sir. I recommend if listen, okay? I recommend just for you to identify yourself to this officer. Yeah. And then I could give you the statute and you could look it up, okay? And then you could actually read through it thoroughly, okay? Because there's a lot of subsections in there. Which it might be a little confusing. Okay. But I can tell you right now, this is a private property. Yeah. She's already asked you to leave.
Come on, I'm not fighting you here. I'm just.
I'm not. No, we're not.
I know. Listen, sir. Listen, sir.
You're not really
I'm pulling my pad out. I'm going to ask you one more time. Okay. Well, before you start telling us all about your law knowledge.
Good one, officer.
I'm going to ask for your name and date of birth. If you do not, when I click my pen, and if you do not tell me, you're going to jail. Is that worth it?
I got another question, may I?
What is your name?
How do you know if I'm giving you the right one?
Seriously?
I'm done.
Okay, wait a minute. I got another question.
No, I'm done.
Florida Statute 870. Don't
stand up for me. Turn around.
Look, I'm not resisting. Come on, I'm not resisting. I'm a fat old man. You think I'm going to fight you two guys?
Why? Why? Why would you do this to yourself? How dumb can you be?
Give you every opportunity.
Honey, would you get my cell phone here?
Well, get ready, because he is about to turn this dumb into a huge dumb and throw a whole bunch of sovereign nonsense in there as well. I am going to turn the volume up so you can hear the judge. Sorry if he's a little too loud.
My name is Mark Schmitter. I'm here by special appearance.
Nope.
And I'm here on special appearance under Sir Jewis with a natural person with my name lawfully and properly spelled in upper and lowercase letters.
All right, well, on your birth certificate it said Mark Edward Schmitter, right?
Yeah, but it's in capital letters and that's a fraud.
And you legally changed your name in the court?
No.
Okay, and you're still Mark Schmitter to the court.
Mm-hmm.
So, sir, you're with us for a trespass on maximum 60 days of jail. An existing officer without violence on 1 year in jail. State, is there an offer to this gentleman?
Yeah. Also, Your Honor, may I record this hearing?
Will you record it?
Yeah, with my cell phone.
It is recorded, but
I know, but I got to pay money for that.
I don't think you have to pay money for that. Sure,
What?
I'll let you record the hearing.
Thank you. It's gracious. And also, could I get my $1,000?
Start talking, you might want to start recording and then you can...
Thank you. Okay. Takes me. I had to turn it off. Takes me. But I can ask these questions. Could I get my $1,000 bail back? I'm not the type of person that's going to flee.
No.
Okay. And can I remove my mask? It keeps me from breathing.
You can't breathe?
No, it slows down. I don't get enough oxygen.
You have the doctor's note?
No.
Well, what doctor told you that?
I told myself that because I measured the oxygen on the inside.
No, he didn't just say that. Okay. How do you measure the oxygen on the inside?
Would you have a new doctor?
Say again?
You keep your mask below your nose. That's
Okay. But it also violates my civil rights.
No, it doesn't.
It violates my religion.
It really doesn't for that either. You're just making things up. It's
No,
wrong.
no, I'm not making it up because if I can't see somebody, I don't know how they feel about me. Okay.
What's your religion?
Say again?
What is your religion?
It's a private religion.
What is it? It's got to have a name.
Just a personal.
Have you made up your own religion?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And also,
I'll hear more about that.
are the Constitution? Wait a minute.
You're just making it up as you go on. I understand that. So, does your religion have a name?
No, not that I think of.
Any kind of a book associated with it? The one that you wrote. I know you got stuff off the internet to ask so that you can try and get at this. None of that works. Okay? You are part of our country. You are part of our county. If you don't like that, if you don't want to pay taxes, if you don't want to, abide by the rules, then unfortunately, you'd have to stay home and go nowhere. Because the sidewalk, the streets, public property. So, let's see what the state wants to do. Council, is there an offer to Mr. Schmitter?
Yes, Your Honor. The offer would be a withhold of adjudication, 6 months of supervised probation, 20 hours of community service, and a letter of apology to the police officer.
That's a pretty good offer. It won't even go on his record. He's looking at 14 months in jail. I guess that would be prison at that point. Instead, what do you think he's going to do? What do I even ask you? We all know what he's going to do.
Mr. Schmitter, you have 3 choices today. You decide whichever one you think is invested. Option number 1, if you're not guilty, I will give you an attorney if you can't afford it. The worst that could happen if you go to trial and the jury convicts you of the trespass, you'll be 60 days in jail and a $500 fine. The worst that can happen if the jury convicts you of resisting an officer without violence, which means an officer asks you to do something in his lawful duties and you refuse, would be 1 year of jail plus a $1,000 fine plus your court costs. So the very worst that could happen in this case would be 14 months of jail and $1,500. That's option number 1. The We'll give you a lawyer. You can have a trial. Option number 2, the state has made it off. No conviction for either of these charges. You have to be on probation and report every month for 6 months. You have to do 20 hours of community service. You have to write a letter, and you will owe $263. That is option number 2. I'm going to give you a third option from me today only. You pay $263. You write a letter, and you're all done. No probation, no jail, no community service. What option would you like today?
How could anyone pass that up? All he's got to do is write a letter. That's it. How hard is that? Even if it goes against your religion. I do love the fact that he calls sovereign citizenship a religion now. Probably because he's too embarrassed to be called a sovereign citizen. They all are now.
I have a few questions for the court.
Ask anything you want.
Could you tell me, is this a civil action or a criminal action? Before I answer those questions.
It's a crime.
It's a criminal?
Yes, sir. That's why you're in this courthouse and not in the civil courthouse. The civil courthouse is down by the
And you haven't asked me about, do I understand the charges yet? Or do you do
I
that?
haven't asked you anything. I just want to know which option you like.
No, I just soon go to court.
Cool. You want to try? Okay. Yeah, the offer is now gone. There will be no offer other than either jail or probation in all likelihood. So, can you afford a private attorney or would you like a public defender?
Neither. I'll defend myself.
I'm not going to let you defend yourself. So, can you afford a private attorney or would you like a public defender?
Your Honor, I make a motion in this case for it to be dismissed. There are, wait a minute. Give me a second.
Sure, take your time.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor, but I don't think that you would be violating your oath of office if you did your duty under the Constitution. You see, I am not seeking legal advice. What I want to know is legal intent. I have the right to appear as myself in my own person without a licensed attorney, or in order to intelligently defend myself, I have to know the rules of jurisdiction that this court will be operating under, because of the rules of criminal procedure under common law and jurisdiction are vastly different than the other laws.
Okay.
No.
So, have you ever been to law school?
No.
Have you ever practiced law?
No.
Have you ever been to a trial?
Yes.
When?
I was here about 4 years ago.
40?
4 years ago.
4 years. You had a trial?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what. Yes, we did.
You had a trial?
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to remember what the circumstances were.
I can look it up.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. Yes, I didn't have a driver's license on me. Brevard? Oh, yeah, that's right.
You had a trial.
That was dismissed.
What?
Yeah.
Never.
Well, it's plead out.
So, Mr.
I can't
Chairman,
remember.
you never handled a trial. Have you ever picked a jury?
No.
Have you ever cross-examined a police officer under oath?
Nope.
Have you ever cross-examined a non-police officer under oath?
Nope.
Have you ever given an opening statement in a court of law in front of a jury?
Not that I recall.
And how much schooling do you have?
Some college.
Graduate college?
Say again?
Did you graduate college?
No.
I did not find that you were qualified to represent yourself. So I'm going to appoint a public defender, at least as a standby attorney, to assist you in any trial that you might have.
No, Your Honor, I objected that.
Object all you want.
Because the Sixth Amendment grants me the right to know the jurisdiction and also to defend myself.
No, it does not give you the right to defend yourself, but the court finds that you are not capable of defending yourself. And I find you are not capable of determining your substance.
Wouldn't that be at my Feretta hearing?
I just gave you a Feretta hearing.
I'd like a motion to have a Feretta hearing.
We just had one. We can have more in the future.
Come on, Judge. This guy knows what he's doing. He can't even remember what the cases were about before. He probably knew, but he didn't want you guys to look it up. And he seems very capable of not being able to represent himself properly. So what are you doing? Let him just go pro se. What an idiot this guy is. I just, wow.
Are you just looking on the internet to find things?
No, but I study law
When did you study?
for the last 10 years.
Where?
Just here in Orange County.
You studied in Orange County under who?
Just on my own.
Just look things up.
Wait a minute, I'll just explain this to you and make more sense. I did 109 days in jail due to Belvin Perry, which probably looked up, and that was for defying his, it was for not being in the free speech zone.
I remember that. All right.
And also,
And you defended yourself?
no, I had a lawyer, and he did a miserable job.
Okay.
No, I'd like to know what the charges are first.
The charges are a trespass in a structure or conveyance, refusal to depart Jason's Deli, punishable 60 days in jail, which occurred allegedly on February 15th of this year, and the charge of an earlier resisting an officer without violence, which also allegedly occurred on February 15th of this year. What else can I answer for you?
Honestly, Judge, you shouldn't answer anything for him. He wasn't listening to you. He was flipping pages, not paying attention to anything you just said, because he knows his charges. He's just being a sovereign.
I don't understand the nature of the cause of the charges.
Well, your attorney will be happy to explain.
I don't want an attorney.
I just explained it to you.
I object.
Object to what?
But you're practicing law from the bench.
I'm not practicing anything from the bench. You
Well-
have to explain the charges to you, which I did.
Well, I know that you did, but I don't understand the charges.
What part don't you understand?
They just don't make sense.
What part doesn't make sense? Which one?
Well, I mean, are we going to try the case right now, or are we going to go to court?
You're asking me to, you're telling me you don't understand it, and then you're saying if I explain it to you, that you're going to court at the moment. So which is it? What do you want me to do?
Well,
You want me to dismiss the charges. That's not going to happen. So what else would you like to have done today?
about, Your Honor, because you're entering a plea.
I'm not entering a plea. No.
Nope.
You have to enter a plea, not me.
Okay, I got that. But when it comes to the charges, is there an affidavit on these charges?
Yes, most likely.
Okay, well,
There's an arrest report that's sworn to you.
okay,
You should have received a copy.
say again?
You should have received a copy of it. If not, it's in the court file in here. What else can I answer?
Well, what I don't understand is, well, one thing I want to know is, Your Honor, is you said this is criminal action?
That's what I told you.
Okay. If it's a criminal action, are we going under the, I would like to know what jurisdiction we are under.
Me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
State of Florida.
Okay, so we're under we're under a criminal action from the state of Florida?
That's correct. This is a Florida law.
Well, if it's criminal, doesn't it move up to constitutional law then? As described in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution?
Which Constitution?
Well, there's a question, the one that's in this court.
Which Constitution do you want me to reference?
Well, there's two of them. It'd be the Florida Constitution and the U.S. Constitution.
I'm aware of that. Which one would you like to reference?
Are they both in effect here?
That is correct.
Okay, but once you make it criminal, it doesn't move up to, the U.S. Constitution grants this court with 2 different criminal jurisdictions. Are we going to go over that now?
If you want.
Okay. It grants 2 different criminal jurisdictions. One is a criminal jurisdiction under common law, and the other one is criminal jurisdiction under admiralty or military tribunal. As Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution.
Here is the section of the Constitution he's talking about. This talks about Washington, D.C. and military forts and things. It has nothing to do with what he just said. He just has no idea what he's talking about. But sovereign's got a sovereign.
In which of these 2 criminal jurisdictions does this court intend to try me?
Florida statutes.
Florida statutes. All right, well now I make a motion, Your Honor. You can't have Florida because you work for Florida and so does the prosecuting attorney, so that's a conflict of interest. Okay, so you intend to conduct a criminal action against me under statutory jurisdiction, but Your Honor, that raises another question. I have never heard of such a thing as criminal action under statutory jurisdiction, and there's no such jurisdiction established in the Constitution. I would be happy to accept, Your Honor, if you could please tell me where I can find the published rules of criminal procedure under statutory jurisdiction and where that nature, cause, and jurisdiction information exists. It is imperative that I have a published rules of procedure so that I may conduct a fair and defense of my fair trial.
He's sovereign. There it is. All you got to do is Google. I know you're good at Googling and watching YouTube, so it shouldn't be hard.
I can't make a plea.
Yes, you can.
If I don't understand the charges, I can't make a plea.
But you do understand.
No, I don't. They don't make sense.
What part doesn't understand?
Is she initiated this supposedly over the mask rule, but there's no law that says you got to wear a mask.
Doesn't matter if there's a law or not. When you're on private property, if you invite me to your house.
That's different.
No, it's not. It's private property.
Yeah, but that was a public
It's
accommodation.
not a public accommodation. Jason's Deli is not a public accommodation. It's a private industry. Private.
Yes, but their policy can't not be repugnant to the Constitution.
That deli doesn't have to do anything constitutional to you. They're not the government, dummy.
Are you refusing to enter a plea today no matter what I tell you?
Well, is there a threat?
No.
I'm asking the question, is there a threat of jail here?
No, this is a yes or no question. I've given you the opportunity to ask me questions. I'm going to ask you a simple question. Are you going to refuse to enter a plea regardless of what I tell you today because you are a sovereign citizen?
No, I'm not a sovereign citizen.
If it walks like a pug, barks like a pug, well then guess what? It's a pug. You are a sovereign citizen. You are a sovereign citizen. Is it because you're a domestic terrorist you don't want to admit to it? Or is it just because everybody knows sovereigns are dumb?
Are you going to refuse to enter a plea today regardless of what I tell you?
I'm refusing to enter, wait a minute, let me finish the sentence. I'm refusing to enter a plea because I do not understand the charges. However, you threaten jail on me if I don't make a plea, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and what would that, what statute would I violate on that?
You violated by asking me a reasonable question.
Okay.
You're refusing to do what you knew was going to be required when you showed up. So, you've been through this route before.
No.
It's not your first time.
No, this is the first mass thing I've ever been through.
You've been charged with a crime. So,
Yeah, so under the threat of jail,
The judge is talking.
okay.
You've been to an arraignment before at least once, maybe more than once. So you know what an arraignment might be. So, you have two options today. The first option is, I will answer any question you want about the charges, but you will then enter some kind of plea, whichever plea you want.
Okay, and if I don't enter the plea,
If
just,
you refuse to enter a plea today, no matter what I do, I'm going to remand you to jail.
remand me to jail, and how long would that be?
But
Your Honor, may I please speak to him real quick and go over a quick statement with Mr. Schmitter while you handle the other gentleman who's been waiting? Can I have 2 minutes with Mr. Schmitter? Thank
I
you.
don't think he's willing to talk.
Would you be willing to talk to me for a few minutes?
Sure.
Please step away with me for a second. And Your Honor, if I need to be...
Under duress and under threat of jail, I make a plea of not guilty.
Look how quick he came back with a change of attitude. But he was so dumb, he should have just taken the deal the judge offered him. All he has to do is pay a small fee and write a letter. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you so much to everybody who's subscribed. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I really want to get to 10K. We'll have a party of some kind. All right, till the next one, Violet, I love you so much. And we have to say goodbye.